Hello, and thank you for taking time to visit the channel. Listen, when it comes down to building wealth, there's several components. There's a lot of things, a lot of subjects you can get into. You can dig deep into it. You can get into all of the financial scenarios. You can get into the financial documents, the income statement, balance sheet. You can get into all those things. You can get into how to purchase, strategies to purchase, things you should do, revenue. All these different subjects are the meat. Once you get inside of the heart of building wealth. But before you get into all of that, before you get into the heart, there's a foundational truth that must first be established, or you will struggle and you will have your progress into developing wealth that'll be totally prolonged. That thing is this: the mindset. The mindset. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, as he thinks, his reality, his attitude is what he's going to be. And so the thing is there has to be first, before you get into the depth of it, there must be a changing of the guard of the tenets and the foundational beliefs that you have in your mind. You must begin to start stretching yourself to begin to believe differently, to think differently, and to begin to start setting the foundation for you to be able to understand the principles that are necessary in order for you to be wealthy. There is a mindset to being wealthy. And so the first thing that needs to happen is there is a mental paradigm shift. We'll get more into this in future discussions, future lessons, but there must be a mental paradigm shift. A mental paradigm shift that says that you have within you the inner core belief that you deserve your Father's best, that you're not somebody who is beneath anybody, that there's a place for you and it's always underneath, that you're not afraid to step out and have the best things in life. We've been somehow conditioned to believe that if you're being greedy and you're being worldly, if you are trying to have good things in your life and you're trying to have the best. And I have to tell you that that's a lie. As a man thinketh, so is he. That's Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. You have to first believe that you deserve the best, that you deserve good things. And once you, establish that and get that in your heart, you then need to start building yourself towards that level of expectation. There is indeed a mental paradigm shift that needs to take place in order for you to wrap your mind around the concepts and the beliefs and the things that are necessary, the strategies that are going to get you there. If you don't get that mindset right, you're going to continually sabotage yourself. You're going to feel as if something deep down in you is going to believe that there's something about you that doesn't deserve to do better than the people that you left behind. You might have family members that aren't doing so well financially, and you might have left your environment and left some people behind for a reason. And maybe there's some guilt inside you that you feel like maybe you shouldn't, you don't want to drive a certain type of vehicle or live a certain way because you don't want to be showing off. Well, you're going to have to kind of grow up. You really are. You have to understand that those of you who are believers and have a relationship with the Creator, you have to recognize that He gives, the Bible says that to whom much is given, much is required. And it also talks about the talents, and the faithful servant was the one that took the talent. He reinvested those talents and he did what he could to make the most of it. Now, the things that you've been given is you've been given brain capacity. You've been given air. You've been given these things not just to simply just maintain and, barely scratch the surface in your life, but you've been given brain power. You've been given energy. You've been given the gift of life to begin to invest your time and your energy into developing what is so important, and that is a financial IQ. That's the next thing after you get that mental paradigm shift, where you begin to start recognizing that you're worthy of the best, is you have to work towards building a financial IQ. You have to do what you need to do to improve your relationship with money. You have to establish a relationship with money. You have to recognize that you need to be a faithful steward over all things. It's so important, to recognize that, there's a process to this thing. And first getting the mindset correct begins the process. And then once you get the mindset right, the attitude towards working towards it, it's not going to happen overnight. You need to get out your head that it's going to be just a quick, get rich quick thing. Very rarely does anybody hit the stock market and they're rich overnight. People who win cryptocurrency and they become wealthy, it doesn't happen. It very rarely doesn't happen very, very quickly. There's usually a time where there's investing and there's a sitting period where you believe in your investment and that you're waiting for that thing to come to fruition for you, to where you're going to get a return on your money. There's lots of principles. There's knowledge that needs to be acquired. There's knowledge of financial statements and all that I mentioned before. And, you have to start working towards that. Now, one of the things that really helped me and helps a lot of people is, and I'll tell you, this person is very, very influential. His teachings are very, very good, and I recommend that you go out and get his book. Robert Kiyosaki. He had a groundbreaking book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the whole premise of the book is basically he had two dads. He had his own biological father, and he had his friend's father. And he called each of them dad. He was close enough to his friend's father to call him dad. And his dad, his own biological father, did everything according to the book. He went to school. He got the good grades. He magna cum laude, all that good stuff. He went on, got his college degrees, graduated with honors, and went on to be superintendent of schools there in Honolulu, Hawaii, or one of the islands in Hawaii. What we would all think is a very good life. Then just put him over the $100,000 mark, probably, just maybe about $150,000 a year. And we think that that's really living. That's the way we've come. We believe that over $100,000 is really it, and so he found that his friend's father was the one who did not have the education per se. He did not have all of the scholastic achievements and whatnot. He, was indeed the one that was wealthy, though. What's the difference between the two men? The one father had all the education. Yes, he had $150,000 a year salary, but yet he was still under control. What do I mean? Well, that's what you get when you go to school. When you go to school and everything is built around school, they don't really bring you in there to teach you how to be independent and how to be wealthy. You're being trained to be an employee. And as an employee, just as a superintendent, even though you be making good money, you're still in a place of danger. Why? Because somebody has the power to pull the carpet from underneath you, the rug from underneath you, and your world can collapse if you suddenly start losing that income. What you want to be is what the friend's dad began to acquire. He developed and he had a financial IQ. And simply, as Robert Kiyosaki lays out in the book, he became very successful at the game of Monopoly. Buying assets, taking the asset, letting it bring in passive income every month, put one house on the land, 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses, just like we did Monopoly. It took down the houses and put up a hotel. And he really mastered that game of assets versus liabilities. Again, but the time was invested to develop the financial IQ. Remember, they're not in school to teach you these things. They're in there. They have you in there. The system is set up to create more employees so that the people who have the financial IQ can become wealthy. You might be interested to know that the Rockefellers back in the day were the educational system in the United States had to be approved by them. Now, what's that tell you? You know about the captains of industry, the J.P. Morgans, which is banking. Captain of industry, yes. Chase Manhattan Bank today. You had Rockefeller, who was still in oil. And you had You had the Carnegies and who was oil and steel, and they began to start crossing over into other realms of industry. But they controlled a lot of the mental frame patterns and the framework according to the way people of what made up what people thought, the way that they built their lives around, the way they built their values. Just think about the power to be able to put something in a book that came out of your head, truth or not, and have the masses believe that very thing, build their whole lives upon it. And then here you are 2-3 generations later, and you're trying to fight people to get that out of their head because there's something in that flawed, and it's causing you to continually be a captive to these people who are only using you for monetary gain. This is what we want to break. We want to break. We men, we want to use this strength and this thing that we have within us, this testosterone, this power. Women, we want you to use your savvy, your strength, your intelligence, to build families. But why? Why? I want to free my children from the financial bondage. I want to free them from the slavery that all of us have been on. Yes, they freed people. They emancipated people 1863, 1865, whenever it was signed. Ounce once, signed another. We want to free them from that. And the way that we do that is we begin to work on the mindset and begin to teach them the principles that will cause them to not have to be stuck being slaves or employees. But I've got my children learning how to be business owners. That's what we're focusing on this channel. I'd admonish you all to like, share, subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your family. And let's begin together a process. Let's start building the path and the road together where we can begin to free our people, and begin to set them out on the road of prosperity. There's a great move and a shift happening out here right now, folks. Whether you know it or not, you can be part of that. You can be a trailblazer. You can be an initiator. You can be a business owner yourself and begin to go out here and get these millions and billions that are on the table and are able to get. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the channel. Again, I tell you, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.